What if I told you a legendary female rapper, a Grammy-nominated star, and the so-called Queen of Loyalty just got her name dragged into an FBI report about a murder-for-hire plot? And what if I told you the alleged target was none other than Claressa Shields, the undefeated boxing champion who recently snatched both the spotlight and Remy Ma's peace of mind? Because that's exactly what's lighting up the internet right now. A leaked federal document, anonymous sources, and whispers from behind courtroom walls, all pointing fingers at Remy Ma. The accusations shocking, unbelievable, and somehow horrifyingly possible. Did Remy Ma actually try to hire someone to handle Claressa? Was this just petty beef gone too far? Or is someone out there framing her, twisting a scandal into a takedown? From secret phone calls to hidden cash transfers to a name that allegedly popped up on a confidential wiretap, this story has everything. And now fans are asking the one question that no one thought we'd ever say out loud. Is Remy Ma capable of something like this? Let's break it down from the very first clue to the moment the FBI came knocking. So, how did we get here? A Grammy-nominated rapper go from red carpets and rap ciphers to federal agents whispering her name in a potential murder-for-hire investigation. The answer? Jealousy, betrayal, and a fight that left more than bruises. Because behind the boxing, gloves, and Instagram filters, there was a storm building. A silent war between Remy Ma and Claressa Shields that most people never noticed until it may have nearly turned deadly. Now look, we all know Remy Ma's past isn't squeaky clean. This is the same woman who served 6 years in prison for shooting her own friend over a few thousand. This isn't fiction. It's on record. So when rumors started circulating that Remy was furious, like slamming doors, cussing in the studio, furious over Claressa Shields' growing closeness to Papoose, people didn't just raise eyebrows. They whispered, what if she snaps again? It started quietly. A few tweets, some fan speculation, but then came the red flags. Remy unfollowed Claressa on Instagram. She deleted every photo that included the word Shields. She even skipped a major event in NYC where Claressa was the guest of honor despite having RSVP'd weeks before. A coincidence? Maybe? But then came the call, according to a leaked memo from a confidential FBI source. A witness came forward earlier this year claiming that they overheard a phone conversation in which Remy Ma allegedly discussed finding someone to deal with a problem in Detroit. Claressa Shields is from Detroit. Now, pause, because if you think this is just gossip, the feds didn't. They flagged the tip, logged the report, and get this, opened a preliminary investigation. Why? Because this wasn't just about trash talk. This was about intent, motive, and money. And according to the same source, this witness also claimed that Remy named a dollar figure. Not vague, not handle it. She allegedly said, I'll put 20 on it. Just get it done. 20 as in $20,000 to get it done. No clarification, no code word. Now, let's rewind. Where did all this tension even come from? Believe it or not, it started at a birthday party late last year. Claressa Shields was invited to an exclusive celebrity stack bash in Miami hosted by a close mutual of Remy and Papoose. According to attendees, Claressa and Papoose arrived together. Together, not in the same car, but they were seen talking, laughing, even matching outfits. A coincidence. Remy Ma reportedly arrived late, and when she saw them, sources say her expression changed instantly. Cold, silent, tight-lipped. One guest described it as she didn't say a word, just looked and walked out. Within hours, the event hashtag #PAPOOSE party was trending. But what had people buzzing wasn't the fashion or the DJ. It was the vibes. Fan-recorded footage showed Claressa and Papoose exchanging what some described as chemistry. You know what I mean? Too many smiles, too much eye contact. And for Remy, already battling rumors about her marriage, her past affair, and public embarrassment. This was humiliation all over again. Sources close to her team say she started spiraling after that night. crying in meetings, refusing interviews, threatening to leave New York altogether. One insider revealed she felt like everyone was laughing at her. She said, "They think she took my man and my respect." The next few weeks, dark. Remy went ghost on social media, canceled 2 live appearances, and when she did resurface, it was only to post one ominous tweet. When someone crosses the line, there's no going back. Fans thought it was about Papoose, but what if it wasn't? What if it was about Claressa? Now, fast forward 2 months later, a man is arrested in New York, New Jersey on unrelated charges. While being questioned, he tells police something unexpected. That he was once contacted by someone in the industry about doing a job. When asked, "What kind of job?" he says, "I don't do hits." I said no, but she was serious. That man, a known associate of several people in Remy's old circle. Coincidence? Maybe, but according to a police report later forwarded to federal authorities. His description of the woman matched Remy Ma. Now, here's where things get dangerous. Because once the feds were looped in, they didn't play games. They pulled Remy Ma's travel records, her phone activity. They reviewed her financial movements, and what they found raised eyebrows. Within 72 hours of that birthday party, Remy withdrew $9,750 in cash. Then 2 days later, another $8,200 back-to-back cash pulls. No explanation, no paper trail. Combined. Total nearly $18,000. Just a couple grand short of the 20. She allegedly mentioned in the phone call. Is that proof? No. But it's suspicious. Very. And let's not forget, Rhee's past makes her an easy target for scrutiny. She's already a convicted felon. She's done real time. She knows how the streets work. So, when the FBI received a second tip from a different source about Remy allegedly trying to silence someone talking too much, that's when alarms started ringing. This source claimed Remy was paranoid Claressa would expose her marriage problems and embarrass her again publicly. And here's the most chilling part. That same source claims Remy was heard saying, "She's not going to ruin me. I'll end this before she does." Now, whether that means end figuratively or literally, that's exactly what investigators want to know. At this point, we're no longer talking about rumors on the Shade Room. We're talking about a potential federal case fueled by anonymous tips, strange money trails, and Remy's own volatile history. And just when things couldn't get more intense, another leak surfaced. A voice note allegedly taken from a phone that once belonged to a Remy associate. Someone who was later picked up in a weapons sting and flipped for a deal. In the clip, a woman believed to be Remy is heard saying, "I don't need her talking, handle it, I'm done playing nice." 3 short sentences, no names, no locations. But the feds took it very seriously because around the same time that voice note was recorded, Claressa Shields filed a temporary security order increasing her personal protection during public events. Coincidence? Again, maybe. But how many coincidences? Does it take before it stops sounding like bad timing and starts looking like a blueprint? And if you think that's all, there's more. Because just as Remy's lawyers were trying to kill the story behind the scenes, a reporter from a lesser-known outlet in Detroit claimed to have seen a copy of a redacted federal report with Remy Ma's name listed in the persons of interest section, not as a witness, as a possible initiator. And that is when the streets and the internet exploded. And that's when everything changed. Because once that redacted federal report surfaced, the one allegedly listing Remy Ma under the persons of interest category, the internet didn't just catch fire, it went nuclear. Within hours, every major gossip page, underground blog, and Twitter sleuth had their hands in the mix. Screenshots flew faster than punches. TikToks popped up dissecting Remy's body language in old interviews. Reddit. Threads began connecting dots that probably didn't even exist, but still felt too real to ignore. Even CNN GOT dragged into it. Not because they covered it, but because some genius edited a fake CNN chair that read, "Breaking Remy Ma under investigation for alleged murder plot." It looked so real that people started tagging Anderson Cooper asking for a statement. Now, let's talk about that report. According to insiders, it was a heavily redacted internal memo. It's part of a broader investigation into celebrity-adjacent criminal activity triggered by a series of unrelated phone taps. But here's the kicker. In one of those wiretap logs, a woman allegedly referred to as RM was recorded saying, "It's better if she's gone. That's all I'm saying." That single sentence set off a federal alert because not only was RM being mentioned in multiple calls, she was always connected to conversations about payoffs, fights, and handling someone. Now look, Remy Ma's team, of course, came out swinging. Her rep told TMZ these accusations are completely false, slanderous, and part of a targeted smear campaign. Remy Ma is focused on her music, her family, and her legal business endeavors. But the interneted care. They saw the quote. They saw the timing. They remembered the party. And they remembered the look Remy gave Claressa. It wasn't denial proof. It was believable. And then, as if the universe was writing this script. For us, a former bodyguard who once worked briefly for Remy came forward anonymously. In an exclusive interview with a small but rapidly trending podcast, he said, "She got people. I won't say more than that, but if Remy didn't like you, you'll know. And if she really don't like you, someone else will tell you to back off before it gets dark." Now again, this wasn't hard evidence, but it was adding weight to a very dangerous narrative. And then Claressa Shields broke her silence. She didn't tweet. She didn't rant. She simply posted a black screen to her Instagram story with one line. "This ain't rap beef. This is real life." And boom, millions of views. Screenshot by every page from @theshadem to @BalorAlert. Celebrities started chiming in. Cardi B posted a confused face emoji and deleted it 10 minutes later. Fat Joe, long known as Rhee's mentor and friend, refused to comment when asked on his live. But it was Papoose who really shook the room. In a now-deleted tweet, he wrote, "Some things ain't forgivable, even when they come from home." What? People were instantly like, wait, is he confirming something? Is this about Remy? Did he find out the truth? Within 30 minutes, Papoose was trending nationwide. Everyone was now asking, did Papoose know what Remy was planning? Did he try to stop her? Or did he just find out like the rest of us? It only got worse because then came the anonymous texts. A series of screenshots allegedly between Remy Ma and someone labeled us were leaked by a mystery source. Here's one of the messages. "I'm serious. She'll think I'm soft now." They all laughing. "I'll give you the rest after it's done. Keep it quiet." The number was blurred, but the grammar, phrasing, and timestamps all matched up to known moments in the conduct. And the timeline still could be faked, right? Except an independent tech YouTuber ran metadata analysis on the images and claimed these are real. I've seen thousands of doctor texts. These don't show the telltale signs. So now the case had a motive of jealousy and humiliation. Potential timeline starting from the Miami party. Multiple anonymous sources. A sketchy cache trail. A redacted FBI mention and leaked messages. Even if it wasn't 100% confirmed, it was. Too much smoke not to look for fire. And remember, Claressa Shields is a public figure, a world champion, a national treasure in women's sports. She's not some random side character in Remy's life. She's a threat, a symbol, and for some, a target. Now, let's talk about the fans, because this wasn't just a scandal. It became a war zone. Remy Ma supporters said she was being set up, smeared, and punished for her past. They blamed Claressa for playing victim and trying to ride Rhee's name for clout. One viral tweet read, "Charlers is just mad because she got friend-zoned by Papoose." Another said, "They always blamed the Bronx chick. When things go left, Remy paid her dues. Let her live." But the Claressa camp, they weren't backing down. Fans posted screenshots, old photos, even dissected Claressa's IG live from 3 weeks before, where she allegedly said, "Some people talk big but fold when you step in their lane. That's why they try to fight dirty." And now people were saying, was that a warning? Was Claressa already feeling threatened? And then came the straw that snapped the whole thing. A voice call recording, grainy, echoey. But allegedly, reel leaked onto YouTube for just 18 minutes before it got taken down. In it, a woman sounding uncannily like Remy Ma says, "If she ends up in the hospital, it's on her. She didn't listen. I warned her." The video had 90,000 views before it was scrubbed. But the internet is forever. Clips were reposted, Amirs were uploaded, and now fans weren't just speculating. They were scared. Suddenly, this wasn't about petty feuds. It was about safety, about violence, about intentions that crossed lines. By this time, FBI spokespeople still hadn't issued an official statement, but legal analysts online began warning. If enough circumstantial evidence piles up, federal agents don't wait for a smoking gun. And what makes it worse? Remy Ma is still on parole. One wrong move, one charge. Even an implication of intent could violate her release terms and send her back inside immediately. The stakes, life-changing. And just when we thought it couldn't escalate further, a court filing popped up online, sealed, but verified by a public case number showing that a subpoena had been issued for a known associate of Remy Ma. The charge, complicity and conspiracy to commit harm against a public figure. Now, the words were no longer just whispers. They were in ink. So what happens now? Was this all an elaborate setup? Is Remy innocent and being framed by a bitter rival or a jealous insider? Or was this the most shocking celebrity takedown in hip-hop history, planned in the shadows, fueled by emotion and carried out with a digital paper trail? Because whether she's guilty or not, one thing's for sure. Remy Ma is no longer just a rapper in this story. She's a suspect. And the final blow that was just around the corner. The moment that court filing dropped confirming a subpoena for someone allegedly tied to Remy Ma. The tone around this story changed overnight. This wasn't tabloid chatter anymore. This was now the early stages of a federal case with names, dates, money trails, and one very dangerous narrative that Remy Ma, a woman who once rebuilt her career after prison, was now back under the government's microscope for allegedly trying to take down one of the biggest names in sports. And the worst part, people around her were starting to vanish. One hairstylist who worked on her set regularly deleted all posts, shut down her IG. A close friend, who once featured Remy in her podcast Radio Silent for days. Even a backup dancer who toured with Remy last year posted, then quickly deleted this cryptic story. Ain't no loyalty in fear. I said what I said. Fans went into overdrive decoding that one. And just as online detectives were tearing the internet apart looking for new clues, another bombshell landed. Remy Ma's legal team went dark. No interviews, no rebuttals. No, these rumors are false statements. Just a quiet legal filing requesting a temporary gag order on media coverage connected to her name. Now tell me this, if you're being falsely accused of plotting something that could land you in federal prison, why would you silence the story instead of clearing your name? Exactly that silence. It screamed louder than a press conference. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields was moving with precision. More security, canceled all meet and greets, publicly thanked her fans for the support, but avoided directly addressing Remy. Until one moment at a women's empowerment summit in Detroit, Claressa took the mic and said, "Sometimes the most dangerous people aren't strangers. They're the ones who once clapped when you won." Boom, subtle, sharp, and instantly viral. That single line was picked up by every outlet. She's not naming names, one anchor said, but everyone knows who she's talking about. By this point, even Re's own fan base was divided. Some started pulling back support. Others flipped entirely. digging up old interviews, old fights, even Remy's 2007 arrest record just to argue. She's always been capable of this. And then came the final straw, a federal raid. Yes, it happened quietly behind the scenes. No TMZ cameras in sight, but reports confirmed it. An apartment in the Bronx tied to an unnamed male associate of Remy Ma was searched by federal agents. Items were seized: laptop, 2 phones, a burner. No official charges yet. But here's what got leaked from that search: a series of voice memos found in deleted files that allegedly referenced clearing the slate, making things go quiet. And the most damning line of all: she doesn't know what's coming. Keep it that way. Chilling. Now pause for a second. If even one of those voice memos is proven real, if even one of those cash withdrawals connects to the guy whose apartment got raided, then Remy Ma isn't just accused anymore, she's cornered. Now, while the legal system was quietly ramping up, behind the scenes, the entertainment world was fully melting down. Bet pulled a Remy Ma feature segment from their upcoming special, a documentary about women in hip-hop edited out her section, pending further clarity and a luxury brand. She had just signed with Gone, vanished from her Instagram. Partnership terminated. Even artists close to her began distancing themselves. One collab partner tweeted, "Respect to the legend, but I can't co-sign any energy that brings danger to our women." Ouch. And it wasn't just business. The personal side was unraveling too. Papoose, who had remained mostly quiet throughout, was now spotted at events without Remy, not wearing his wedding ring. People close to the couple say they're taking space, which in celebrity terms usually means the marriage is on life support. Now, let's be clear. No formal charges have been announced, but federal sources, according to a deep dive by an independent journalist, say there's enough material for a material witness summons and potentially more if new evidence surfaces. So the clock, it's ticking. And guess who else just entered the chat? Fat Joe. In a surprise IG Live, he said, "I love Remy. She's my sister. But we don't condone any type opulence, especially not against someone like Claressa, who's done nothing but uplift our culture." I'm praying this isn't true. That was huge. Fat Joe is her mentor, her ride or die. If he's publicly distancing himself, that says it all. And just when people thought it couldn't get darker, the next twist hit like a sucker punch. An alleged jailhouse call surfaced online, not from Remy, from a man claiming to be the person who turned the job down. In Thekel, he says, "She said she'd pay more if I made it look like an accident. Said she didn't want her hands on it. I told her I don't move like that, but yeah, it was serious." The call is unconfirmed. The voice is grainy. The source is anonymous, but the impact immediate. Suddenly, the FBI wasn't just reviewing leads. They were now reportedly in contact with Detroit police, Bronx DA's office, and federal parole authorities. Why parole? Because if Remy even attempted to arrange violence, even if she never paid, never followed through, that's a parole violation under federal statute. And that could mean one thing: Remy Ma goes back to prison. No trial, no public circus, just one. Hearing one ruling back, and that's the nightmare her team is trying to avoid at all costs. Insiders say Remy's lawyers are building a defense around character assassination, arguing that her public image makes her an easy target for false accusations. They're also reportedly preparing to challenge the authenticity of the voice recordings and messages, saying there's no hard evidence linking her directly to any plot. But here's the problem. In the court of public opinion, she's already guilty. She's lost partnerships, support, relevance, and most of all, the benefit of the doubt. So what happens next? Will federal prosecutors file charges? Will Claressa press civil action? More voice memos leak? Will someone else step forward with the final nail in the coffin? Because this story isn't just about one accusation. It's about power, pride, and how fast someone can fall when the internet smells blood. So now you've heard it all. The jealousy, the leaked recordings, the cash trails, and the terrifying possibility that one of hip-hop's most iconic women might have tried to silence a rising star permanently. But here's the question no one can answer yet. Is Remy Ma being framed or exposed? It's because either way, this story changes everything. She's innocent, then someone just orchestrated one of the most devastating takedown attempts we've ever seen. But if she's guilty, then we've all just witnessed the darkest chapter of her legacy unravel in real time. So, what do you think? Was this just bad timing and shady coincidences? Or did Remy Ma really cross a line she can't come back from? Let us know in the comments. And if this story shook you, hit that like button because it's not over yet. Subscribe for the next explosive update because in our next video, we're exposing the man Claressa says warned her first and his shocking ties to both Remy and Papoose. You don't want to miss what comes next. This isn't gossip, it's a war, and we've just hit the next level.